What's going on, guys? It is MurderInc here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. And imagine, just for a moment, if you could use one clan boss team and progress all the way from stage 1 to stage 25 through the spider dungeon. Wouldn't that be incredible? So as we all know, I did just release a video on a team that I came up using a brand new concept introduced to us by Shard Shark, or Sharky's Compass, using the extension of shields, and I made this really cool fast team that ramps up to go above a 2-to-1 ratio called Infinity Chaos. Now, I was curious, I wanted to see where this could kind of change the game outside of Clan Boss, because if you aren't aware with that video, I can clear Ultra Nightmare, Nightmare, and Brutal in 13 minutes every single day by one key each difficulty, which is extremely fast, and the time it takes me to do 3 keys is faster than it takes some people to do their single Ultra Nightmare key. So with that being said, I was curious where else in this game I could in fact use this team. Of course, the first dungeons that I tried, Spider simply worked the best. So the first thing I did was I took it into Spider stage 20 and I said, you know what, let's give this a whirl. So I did just that. I have the same presets I do for that extension video. Everything's the same here. I wanted to see if I can keep it identical using all of the same concepts, and shockingly, it worked out perfect. I don't want to say shockingly like that because I did have a small idea that it would in fact work, but this isn't going to be some crazy fast 30-second HP burn team. However, the fact that a team not using any HP burn debuffs, not using enemy max health abilities that can do this successfully, 100% win rate, no questions asked, I did in fact find this quite interesting. Now, if this was taking 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't think it would be as impressive. But one interesting fact about this, and it does make sense after I did review kind of what the purpose of this team is, it utilizes extra turns, counterattack, and mastery damage on top of Brogni's passive there. Yes, the spider is healing, but as we know how Brogni works, every time you're hit with the shield, he can reflect his damage with mastery damage, making it almost equal out the amount of damage that we are doing based on what he's healing. So things kind of equal out there pretty quickly. But to my point before, one of the really interesting things about this is we can see, and I'm going to show you the time I get here on stage 20. This time is going to be consistent across all of the dungeons. So I was kind of trying to figure out in my head, how is this possible? And the fact that it's using poisons, maybe 1 HP burn, but not on the spiderlings itself, raw damage, mastery damage, all of these things combined, it actually does add up and make sense in the end as to why all of the times are very similar. So as we can see here, 1 minute and 48 seconds, stage 20, 100% win rate. Looking at the quick breakdown of damage, I'll move to the side here. We have 2.1 million damage from Brogni, 9.8 from Krisk being that AoE, 2.2 from Dracomorph, 840,000 from one Lanicus, 1.2 million from the second Lanicus. Now, what's crazy about this, like I said, is going to be the time difference. So let's head to stage 25. Now, for all of you guys who have done any type of content with these new dungeons, you understand that the difference between stage 20 and stage 25 is night and day. Enemy max health has been nerfed. The health is way bigger than it was before. So the fact that you're going to see the time you're going to see here based on what we just saw from stage 20 is kind of interesting, and maybe this can lead to some new progression teams that are a lot more reliable than people think. So this alone just proves that you don't need HP burn, you don't need enemy max health, and you don't need turn meter reduction to make this increased difficulty of spider possible to kill. This kind of brings us back to the roots of the game. If you've been playing for a while, or if you remember when you first started the game, all you want to do is you want to wave clear the ads, try to counterbalance the amount of healing the main spider is going to do based on the consumption here. As you can see here, the spider's healing, and to my point before, as soon as he heals and then shoots the damage out, he takes a good chunk of his health back from Brogni and this reflect here. So I'm interested to know, and maybe I'll do some work on it, but as we all know, I love kind of picking the brain of the community, seeing what you guys can come up with, and seeing if you guys have an awesome baseline strategy, an idea to use with a team similar to this. Someone that has some type of extended survivability added to it, where as we can see here, I'm using Infinity Shield concept. And even though Krisk did lose it, to be expected sometimes with this high round. With Ally Protect, that's a ton of damage, all being focused and cycled straight into Krisk here. As you can see, he did in fact just die there. Regardless of that point, we are still going to be able to pull this off quite easily here, assuming all things go to plan. Hopefully I don't have to eat my words here and things don't run off. Okay, so Brogni down. Let's see if we can get an extension. We did get an extension that was very, very lucky. If we can get a second one, that would be beautiful. Let's go. Come on, Lanicus. I believe in you. This would actually be the first time I've seen this team fail, and I've been actually farming Spider, believe it or not, with this team. Yes, it isn't fast like I said before, but still, I just thought this was a really cool team overall. So let's take a look at this for a second. We did a minute and 40 seconds on stage 20, and now we have 2 minutes and 11 seconds on stage 25 with the death on Krisk, with things desyncing at the end with Unappriest Brogni. As you can see, my best time with this team, just farming it, because I've never really done stage 25, is 2 minutes with this team. So this is kind of why I wanted that community interaction here, and I want to see what teams can you guys think of or come up with that can work now that we know it is possible. Yes, I'm using the extension from Brogni. You can do that as well. This team is much more flexible than the current iteration of the clan boss team that I was showing you. The damage requirements and the champion requirements, mostly being Krisk, were very high. However, I do not personally believe you need ally protection for this concept here. I'm 99% sure you can replace Krisk with any debuff extender here, and maybe replace even Dracomorph with someone like a Lydia. Anyone who has a high chance of putting defense down, weaken, plus mastery damage, or you can just go ahead and go for someone that puts defense down only, and just work on that for mastery damage. So I'm definitely excited to see what you guys as the community can give me some feedback in the comments. What teams are you thinking of that could possibly work for this? And the next question would be, where else can I use the team? Unfortunately, I tried it out in other dungeons. The reason why it doesn't work in other dungeons, to my testing so far, is because every single other dungeon you can think of, being Ice Golem, Dragon's Lair, and finally Fire Knight, they have waves of champions you have to defeat before reaching the boss. Why Spider's Den works so well, because I start straight off the bat into the spider. There's no round from round turn meter manipulation. The AI system works perfectly like the clan boss, going straight into any boss fight. Same thing is going to apply for Doom Tower, unless you can zone straight in to the boss. Yes, you can say the Doom Tower waves aren't hard. I agree with that. However, you are using skills, you are using cooldowns, so unless you just sat there and manualed the whole time, making sure everything was up, it wouldn't be possible anywhere outside of Spider's Den from the testing I've personally had myself. So with all of this information being said here, I'm now curious and I'm looking for your guys' feedback. What other teams could you figure out that really utilizes AoE champions, ally attack, mastery damage, survivability? I'm pretty sure Brogni is going to be key. As I said before, the fact that the spider is healing and you can't put a heal reduction on the spider boss, you really want some way to mitigate that healing, and Brogni is going to be the perfect answer. Of course, as we all know, someone else you can use instead of Brogni is going to be the champion I recently pulled. Let me find him very quickly for you guys. And that is going to be our friend that's currently not at level 60, I'm assuming, since I don't see him just yet, is going to be a Geomancer. Now, Geomancer also has interesting synergy with all of this stuff, and he does a lot of damage on his own with these shields, so this could be another champion. I haven't tested this guy at all, so like I said, let's get active. I'm not going to be doing all of the work all of the time now. I want to see what you guys can do. Give me your thoughts, give me a team that I can use and I can test, and I'm really looking forward to kind of flipping the roles a little bit instead of me sitting here testing all day and making videos. And I'm going to kind of give it to you and say, okay, I showed you what I could do with the team I already made for Clan Boss. It does work in Spider. It's giving a lot of new life to a new type of concept that can work consistently from stage 1 to stage 25 for these Spider dungeons. So what can you guys think of as the community that will also work not using the same champions that I'm using? If you want to use the same concepts, you definitely can, but definitely not the same champions. Alright guys, that's going to conclude my video today on the one team that clears from stage 1 to 25 that I use for Clan Boss. Give me your thoughts, give me your feedback. If you like this content, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, comment, and I will see you in the next upload.